The Super Eagles are set to face Libya home and away ahead of the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifying match. The first leg tie will be played at Uyo Township Stadium before Nigeria travels to Libya for the second leg. Augustine Iguavon's side will be without their informed striker Victor Osimhen, who picked up an injury against Kasımpaşa in the Turkish League. Meanwhile, the Honorable Minister of Sports Development, Senator John Owen Eno, has warned the Super Eagles of Nigeria not to undermine Libya ahead of both teams' clash in the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations Afcon Qualifier at the Godswill Akpabio Stadium in Uyo on Friday. Well, let's now join Arise News sports correspondent Aaron Akirijala for details.
All right, thank you very much, Semitokwe. And AB, we're here at the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium, the best stadium in Nigeria in terms of playing tough and all the facilities for a football game and maybe sporting activities. And it will be hosting the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifier between Nigeria and Libya. At the moment, you can actually see that the stadium is still being thoroughly cleaned from head to toe, top to bottom, literally. And the pitch, of course, we have the referees, just doing their own light warm-up at the moment, trying to get themselves into the groove. They will be officiating the game tomorrow. A lot will be resting on their shoulders in terms of performances. But I must say that at the moment, AB, let's talk about the fact that Turkish-based defender Bright Osai Samuel is the only Super Eagles player yet to join the squad in Uyo here. We have the full complement of players. AB, so let's get into this right now. Looking at how things have actually played out for you, how would you rate the level of preparedness? We just spoke about Bright Osai Samuel. So many of the players, once again, although we've decided not to look at that, but it is a factor. Late coming to camp is becoming a norm. Why is this so? And should it be acceptable?
Well, I'm looking at the Super Eagles preparedness like you have talked about. We've seen the team train and all, but we've always known that, so we won't talk about the schedule of play. Yes, the Turkish League has also gone on break as well with the international break, but it's unconfirmed the reason he's not available. Now, you look at the players in Nigeria's arsenal at the moment, and I think this is the best we've seen.
But before we get there, let's address late coming, because when I was coming, I saw some players, some Super Eagles player on our plane, and I'm like,
the flights were cancelled. There were issues with your flight was cancelled. A day before, the flights were cancelled. From Abuja and Lagos, the flights were also cancelled.
Is that good enough? The last time, if
the NFF needs to prepare a different option. For instance, you say, okay, they get a private jet to fly the players in, because we saw different batches of players entering. Even as of yesterday, we saw some players coming for different reasons, and mostly had to be pointed at the flight delays. They even posted on Twitter, some of them posted on Twitter how they've got messages of flights being cancelled. That could be an issue for Bright Osai. I do not know the circumstance, but for this particular international break, flight issues had to be a major bone of contention in this matter area.
All right, moving away from that, Augustus Iguavon, the gaffer of the team, but on an interim basis, we will be having a selection headache at the moment. Maduka Okoye has been on a path of redemption. And we have one man, Stanley Wabali, that has held firm to that #1 spot and our #1 jersey. Do you think Maduka Okoye is ready to get back into the fray of things, or do you think we should still stick with Stanley Wabali?
Well, I'm of the opinion that you do not change the winning team, Aaron, or the winning player. I think Stanley Wabali brought a lot of confidence into the Nigerian team and the back line, because when you see the defenders in front of him, there's just this different kind of energy with them, knowing that whether they miss the ball or not, whether there's an error leading to goal, he is always that last man to guard the post. And at this point, Nigeria doesn't need to be making permutations or guesses, because I know Libya might be a very easy game, but with what Nigeria has gone through in the last 2 years, out of the World Cup, being a very dire situation at this World Cup qualifier, this Afcon qualifier, I think no coach at the moment will want to be the scapegoat. They will just want to pick their best hands for every game, be it against a Libya or be it against a Lesotho or even Eritrea. They just want to play the best game they have. So I think at this point, you should stick to the team that has won him games or giving him the 4 points, because Nigeria at this point, if they win these both matches, they will have 10 points and safely they will almost be qualified as we speak. So I think Nigeria should not make guesses at all.
Not make guesses at all. The players will be having their final training session later on this evening. The Knights of the Mediterranean Knights would also be having their own last training session this evening. A lot is expected from the Super Eagles. We need to use this game to build confidence. There will be a presser later on this evening where both coaches will be telling us what to expect in that encounter later on later on tomorrow evening. But AB, as we get into it, are you expecting any surprises? This is an opportunity for someone. We spoke to him yesterday talking about Victor Boniface. He's yet to get off the mark for the Super Eagles. Is this an opportunity, both home and away? Looking at this on the 11th and on the 15th, is this an opportunity for them for him to hit this and get the monkey off his back, get his first goal for the Super Eagles, and long may he continue?
This is a big chance for him, a huge opportunity, knowing that Victor Osimhen is not in the squad. But Victor Boniface, I've always been of the opinion that he is not a better lone striker. He's a striker that could excel if he has probably a Taiwo Awoniyi in front of him or otherwise, but it all boils down to the coach. But at the moment, Nigeria and the Super Eagles need him to shine just the way he shines and put Nigeria's name on the map every time he features for Leverkusen.
Maybe not directly, of course, the Libyans are already arriving, and at the moment we can actually see them actually just trooping in right about now. If our camera can actually help us pan, of course, they're beginning to come in for their own training session as we will be building up. A lot is expected. They've spoken about hitches and glitches coming into this particular set of fixtures, but we are hoping that they can put all that aside and just move it on. Maybe the Libyans are arriving at the stadium. I think they will be taking their first swing before the Super Eagles will be training later on.
But the Libyans will want to get their first win of these Afcon qualifiers. They have met Nigeria 4 times and have lost on all occasions, and they'll be hoping to get a victory. But that will be a tough one for them. On paper, Nigeria obviously the better side, and they have the home advantage. The last time Nigeria played here in Uyo, it was a 3-0 victory against Benin Republic, and most Nigerians want to see that victory. I will want to see Nigeria keep excelling every match game.
All right, every match game. All right, as we try to wrap it up today, we just want to say that a lot is expected from the Super Eagles. We'll be witnessing their final training session later on. Of course, the Libyans will train first at about 4:30 p.m. and the Super Eagles will be training almost by 6 p.m., trying to get used to the turf and, more importantly, prepare themselves mentally and physically for this encounter. We can open up a healthy lead in Group D. That's what we are looking forward to, with the Super Eagles winning both home and away.